The Jets release running back Michael Carter. Is this a sign of things to come? Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watts UK99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So the news broke Tuesday afternoon. The Jets were releasing running back Michael Carter, fourth-round pick back in 2021 from North Carolina. And wanted to take a few moments to talk about Carter and just kind of where I feel like it went wrong and what this means for the Jets going forward. You know, I remember when Carter was drafted very early in the fourth round in 2021. It was one of those players that, you know, you were kind of surprised that he dropped. There were talks of him possibly going as early as the second round, certainly the third round, but he made it to the fourth. The Jets scooped him up, and he was so excited. I still remember his draft video, his reaction video, after he hung up the phone with the Jets, and you could just hear the excitement bubbling. He was saying, "Thank you, all right, thank you." And then he just puts the phone down, looks up at his family, and just screams in pure delight. I think he did a chest bump with one of his family members, and he fell down to the floor. We're all thinking, "Oh no, he's already hurt from the draft reaction," because that would be the most Jets injury of all time, right? But, when you, as a fourth-round running back, you don't expect them to set the world on fire. And, Carter, he was kind of a good all-around running back. Had good speed, not breakaway speed, but good enough speed. Very quick feet and good vision. I think his footwork was really the key for him. Okay receiving ability, not a very good blocker. That seemed to be the scouting report on Carter coming out into the NFL draft. And he got off to a very promising start with the New York Jets. 14 games, 147 carries for 639 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4.3 yards per rushing attempt. And out of the backfield, he also had 36 catches for 325 yards. So he showed some ability to be a good receiving running back as well. And then I remember into the offseason, I felt pretty good about Carter as maybe not not a bell cow running back, but somebody that you could pair off 50-50 and, team him up with another running back, maybe somebody with a little more distinctive power or really, really distinctive speed, and see what you have. I was actually thinking about Dameon Pierce. I thought that would have been a really good pickup for the Jets. Little did I know they would draft Breecehall, but more on that in a moment. But I remember during that offseason when the Jets released their flight series, and it got to episode number 5. This is during the offseason. Carter's in the Jets practice facility watching a clip of him running from his rookie season. And he sort of bemoaned the fact that he got caught from behind, that he didn't have the extra gear. He didn't have that extra speed to outrun that defensive back. And he got caught, and he vowed that in his second year he would have that extra gear and he would not be caught from behind anymore. And if we're being honest, he has never been the same since that rookie season. The Jets draft Breecehall, as we all know, in the second round, an absolute upgrade. I mean, it was sort of like Bryce Hall. You had Bryce Hall at cornerback in that year. He looked pretty good. Jets fans were excited about Bryce Hall, and understandably so. Very low-round draft pick, looking pretty good, until the Jets draft a kid named Sauce Gardner, and then they realized, wow, we went from like a mid-sized car to we went from like a Honda to a Corvette, made out pretty well with that. It really wasn't that much different going from Michael Carter to Breece Hall, in my opinion. And then even when Breece got hurt last season, Bam Knight was really the Jets' feature running back. Not that means a whole lot, because they had no running game the second half of the season because teams are loading up the box, but Bam seemed to get a little bit more of a share than Carter. Plus, Carter also got mad when the Jets traded for James Robinson from Jacksonville, and, Robinson came with a bum knee. He wasn't right. And, Carter was not very happy about that. And then you go to this past offseason. He scrubbed the Jets from his social media, not because he wanted a new contract, not because of that kind of a reason, but because the Jets traded his buddy, Elijah Moore. Over his friend getting traded, he scrubs the Jets from his account. And at that point, I was just like, he seems like a nice guy, really outgoing and all of that, but he is just way too sensitive, and there's just some things that Carter had to learn to keep to himself. At that point, I started to feel like, Michael Carter's not long for the Jets. And then this season, don't forget week 3 against New England. He gets into a heated exchange on the sideline with Taylor Embry, his running backs coach, in that disaster of a loss. Carter, to me, was just really, really sensitive. Now, not a bad guy by any stretch of the imagination. You'd see him, yucking it up on the sideline, with the Jets social media videos. He'd always have like that outgoing, positive disposition. He was always laughing with them and this and that. So Carter, he was like very happy when things were going well, but when things weren't going well, it seems like he was just kind of moody. That's kind of the vibe that I get from him. Well, now he has a chance to go pretty much anywhere he wants. We'll see if he clears waivers, if a team wants to snatch him up. Was it a surprise for him to get cut? I would definitely say it was, but there were a lot of people calling for him to be deactivated, especially after the chop block penalty against the Raiders. But the funny thing is, now that he actually is cut, you actually see some Jets fans actually almost a little bit upset about this. It's like, well, did we really have to cut him? Like, they wanted to deactivate him, but they didn't want to cut him. So it's like, it's it's a little bit funny how our minds work when it comes to that sort of thing. But now you have an opportunity for somebody more dynamic, somebody younger, somebody faster, somebody who can hopefully wake up a very dormant offense in Israel Abanikanda. The rookie gets a chance to play this week for the very first time. I'm very excited for him. And as far as Michael Carter goes, hey, 4th round pick. Running backs like him are a dime a dozen. I can't even call it a good pick or a bad pick. It was just, it was fine. It was a pick. And now on he goes, hopefully to better things for him. Well, those are my thoughts on the Michael Carter cut. Let me see your thoughts. Put them right down there in the comments. Reminder, join us Wednesday night, 10 p.m. for Wednesday Night Live. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.